menace from deepest space. A tyrant from another galaxy. 4 Earth girls and a bald dwarf. Well, not a dwarf, but a very short man.
I want my pants.
In the movie that answers the question,
Hey, I wonder what this thing does.
Babe Run. See Queen Sartanica's hunt for the sexiest girl on Earth.
Follow them.
Experience the unabated eruption of spontaneous female energy. The motion picture that massages you in places other movies don't dare go. Babe Run. Babe Run. They'll do anything to save the Earth. Anything.
Good luck to you kids. Stay in school and don't be having some career days. This is gonna happen to me, alright? I had dreams. People used to bring me cake. Come join one happy song. Calm down, you're freaking everybody out! Would you please calm down? You, are you having fun? Then tell your face.
And that's okay, because that's a good way to start, because when I was in Vietnam, I had a small apartment too for several years. These are the jokes. Please, I know you came late, so eat. Don't. It's a dinner show all of a sudden. That's great. And Helen, I love it. You know why I chose this woman for my running mate? Because after I met her, all other candidates were pale in comparison. Pale in comparison.
Keep it on me, Scorsese. Keep it on me, Scorsese. You're not winning your student film award on my nickel, okay?
We're in the dense forest of the pretend jungle in search of the fanciest of all predators. There's one now. Come on, let's get him.
Nuevo Nissan Frontier 2005.
Shift the future. Nissan.
Okay, this is Mark getting ready for a show. He has to go in. You have to go perform, Mark. You have to go sing to the people. You have to go sing. They're all waiting on you. You're so good.
Okay.
You better? What do you have to do? Richard Simmons? Yeah, they're all in there. They're staying. Okay, well, you're okay. Okay, well, say bye to all your fans.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Holding you, I held everything for a moment. Wasn't I the king? But if I'd only known how the king would fall, hey, who's to say? You know I might have changed it all. And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. It's my life, it's better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Sing if you know it. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be.
Give it up for Mark. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Penny Wiggins. I'm Pam Yeager. And we were very close to Mark and Eric Snow, myself and Gina. We all organized this. And thank you so much for being a part of Mark's life for coming out. At some point, I'm sure. Thanks for the lights. Just some of the time. I don't know. Yes. So this is called a show-morial. This is a mixture of a memorial and a show.
Right. So there's no monorail involved.
No monorail. So a new term, showmorial, and so we're gonna make you laugh and hopefully cry. I mean, the other way around. We're gonna make you cry and hopefully laugh.
And laugh, crying, laughing,
Laughing.
crying. And peeing on themselves too, why not, right? And just throw that in there.
So our first entertainer today is Mark's own brother, and he's a fantastic musician, and he's known Mark his whole life. Right? So let's give it up for Ethan! Or not, I don't know. All right. Anyway, since Ethan's not here, we want to also let you know that this is the ashes of Mark, not to be maudlin or anything, but you can come up afterwards and take a picture if you'd like. No, okay, just if you want. Kill some time, just killing time. Does anyone know a joke? No, here we go. Ethan, everybody, Ethan! If he makes it on stage. All right. Ethan! One more time. I'm so sorry. Oh, you need a chair. Oh, okay. Things are just getting more complicated. We got it. It's all good.
I'd like to sing a gospel song for Mark and for everybody. And if you feel so inclined to clap or sing, if you move in any way, please feel
Maybe
free.
you should start over. Start over, Ethan. I don't know.
Okay, the next one. Here's
Give it up for Pam!
Thanks for coming out and celebrate Mark's life. Anyway, I'm just going to sing a short gospel song. I hope you like it, and if you feel, if you like get the words, there's not a lot, and feel like singing along on the chorus, feel free if you want to clap or. Anyway, that's about it. I'll get started, and then you'll. Thank you. It's called Lord, I Feel Like Going On. Just to go right on. Well, I'm singing just to go right on. Oh, I done come this far. I didn't find no fault. That's why I feel just like going on. On and on, yeah, I feel just like going on. I done come this far, I didn't find a fault. That's why I feel, you know that I feel. I said that I feel, you know, we're just like going on. Said that I'm shouting just to go right on. Oh, yeah, I'm shouting just to go right on. Oh, I done come this far, I didn't find no fault. That's why I feel, you know that I feel. I said that I feel, you know, we're just like going on. shake a glad hand, just to go right on. Shake a glad hand, just to go right on. Well, I done come this far, I didn't find a fall. That's how I feel. Said that I feel. You know that I feel. You know it's just like going on and on, on and on. Said I feel just like going on. I done come this far, I didn't find no fault. That's why I feel. You know that I feel. Lord, I feel. You know I just like going on. Anyway.
Hey Josh, come on up. Josh, this is Mark's brothers, by the way. This is Josh.
Mark's brother. But anyway, yeah, we grew up as estranged due to circumstances, but you know, later in life we got to reunite and became friends. Pretty tight after that. Mark. One of the nice things is he always told me he loved me, so the love was there, even though we didn't get to see each other all the time, because he, you know, would travel around and visit friends and family, and he had his one-nighters and stuff around doing stand-up or other entertainment, and but I always wanted some brothers, and you know, life can throw you a surprise, nice surprise sometimes. So that was realized in real life, and then so one time when we did end up hooking up, you know, we'd gone to an Arby's, and there was evidently some sort of discrepancy over 63 cents. And Mark, he represented me to the cashier, you know, he sort of on my behalf, and then he was sort of fought like a bulldog for me to get that 63 cents back, you know? And I'm like, wow, I finally have a big brother that's going to, you know, in my corner, that's going to find me. That's wonderful. But I said, well, I thought to myself, yeah, but I'd hate to get on this guy's shit list. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get on his bad side, but anyway, I was very proud of him. I really admired Mark, and you know, his belief in himself, his self-confidence, and making things happen. You know, as far as his business, doing comedy and entertainment, he made that happen. And I think he was a very generous person to friends and others. You know, and gave of himself. And I also considered him a really genius. And then, well, I've seen him do with his improv. I've seen him just think on his feet. It was really funny. We were in New Orleans one time in the French Quarter right after St. Patrick's Day, and you know, this may be like inappropriate, but somebody was standing on the balcony with these plastic, you know, necklaces that's called lanyap, and they said, "Hey, show us your tits," you know, and then Mark lifted up his shirt. I guess I have to do it, and she gave him the necklace, so I think that's like, that was funny to me, but so he could really think on his feet with improv and everything, and I mean, I saw him do Christmas parties as Little Richard, Richard Simmons, right? Yeah, giving presents away, and that was very, very, very excellent, and he would do Santa and other stand-up. But anyway, I was proud to have him as my brother. I love him dearly. I miss him. I also thought he had a wonderful singing voice, And it was really clever how he could change the lyrics on pop songs and make them funny and everything. And I'm gonna miss him a lot. I love him a lot, and just thank everybody for coming. You know. Yeah, and Jay said he's sorry he couldn't be here today because he had gotten a cold, a really bad cold. He's stuck in Houston right now.
Yeah, I'll be quick up here. My name's Josh. I'm the youngest of the brothers. We have one big hillbilly family, 4 brothers, 3 different moms, and it was awesome. Like, I was really lucky. I mean, it was the best. I don't know. I mean, I saw that picture that was in the reel today. It was the first time I'd seen it probably since it was developed, and it was the first day I met my brother Mark. We met later in life. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. He was my hero. Today is going to be a little difficult, but at the same time, it's amazing. I mean, when I got to come out here last month when the accident happened, I got to see a few of you, and that was the most, I mean, it just made it warmed my heart, the impact that he made on people, and how much he loved people and how much he was loved. I mean, that to me was amazing. Like, he really cared. Like, he came out to see me every year. He'd make sure he'd come for a week, and that was 1 week. The rest of the year he was seeing everyone else. Like, he was there to make everyone else happy, and he was really, really good at it. So I'm gonna miss him. I really thank all you guys for coming here, sharing the love all you guys, and I know he loved all of you guys dearly, and really looking forward to the rest of the show. Great job, Ethan. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Just want to add, giving laughter is one of the most beautiful things someone could give as a gift to people. So I thought that was a real blessing that Mark had to share. So thank you.
Yes. And sometimes he did it when you didn't want him to, so that was always nice too. Seriously. Hi. Wait. Oh, the chair. Oh, sorry, you're just kneeling on the ground. It's tough. That'll be when I take the stage later. You'll be kneeling, I'm sure. To pray for my act, that I remember it. No, or something else. I don't know. I thought he was going to talk about Mark's penis for a second. I did. I said it. It's out the bag now. Okay. And thank you, Penny. We are trying to keep it light, and the reason why is because that's what Mark would have wanted. That's what he had for his birthday last year when he turned 60, and we had an amazing time, and he liked to promote all of us. And this is a strange time for me to mention this is also an audition for me at the Ahern. So I appreciate that. And we're going to be like highlighting different facets of Mark's life because he was extremely talented. And he's a fabulous singer and a comedian, and he worked in New York for a long time, and then he was in LA for a while, and now he's here, was here in Vegas, and he's here right here. And he also worked a lot with this next gentleman who's coming up, who is who has been a performer also in New York and in LA and actually all over. He's the #1 impersonator for many different characters. And he is a dear friend of Mark's. Please put your hands together for John DiDomenico. Or it's okay. Yeah, you can if you want to. You can.
So much. Nice round of applause for Pam. I'm really honored to be here. I met Mark, and when I met Mark here in town, the first thing we said to each other was, I think I met you in New York, but we couldn't pin it down. Mark and I were similar in that we both did a lot of different characters, and we both did Trump. We both did a tremendous Trump. It was really incredible, I have to tell you. Really, really amazing. But Mark was kind enough to join me. Every Friday I do a press conference as Trump. And I always ask people like Pamela and Penny and a lot of people to come in and be our reporters. And basically they're reading the questions that are coming through on YouTube and on TikTok and the whole, you know, all these different platforms. And Mark was the only person, we've been doing this since September, and everybody's funny. Everybody who's been on is very funny. But somehow Mark was the only person ever where people in the questions were asking, who is this guy? And he would call himself Chip Butterworth of the Maple Syrup Vermont Gazette. And every time he had a question, and there are hundreds of questions during this 1 hour press, he would say, he'd put his hand up and I would point, he's off camera, but I would point to Mark and he'd go, hi again, Chip Butterworth of the Maple Syrup Gazette in Vermont. To the fucking question. And then he'd ask the question, and then, I have a follow-up. Okay, go ahead. What's your fucking question? Chip Butterworth. I know your name. I know your name. You've said it 50 fucking times. But he did it every single time. That was the longest press conference I've ever done. But the thing was, there's two reasons I bring that up. Mark committed to whatever character he played. Didn't matter, yeah, please run along. He's a great comedian. I was watching Christine Wiig last night on SNL, and the really great comedians commit to their characters. Didn't matter who he was playing, how he was playing it, he totally committed to it, and that was the beauty of Mark. To the point where people for weeks were saying, through YouTube and TikTok saying, will you be bringing Chip back? Will you be bringing Chip back? And that has never happened before, and it has never happened since. That was the amazing ability of Mark. He was incredibly funny. He was incredibly intelligent. He was such a smart comedian. He was such a great improver. I am so sorry that we've lost him, because I think we all know comedy is so important and we all need it. It's so elevating, and he was such a great guy with such a great heart, and he elevated people, like you said about the other acts. He brought people up, and that's something I really loved about him, and I wish I had gotten to spend more time with him. And sadly, I saw him 2 days before the accident. I said, you gotta come back. He goes, just ask me, man. I said, be there this Friday. And he never made it. So it was really heartbreaking. I really loved him. There's very few people who I know that do the same, we're all comedians, we're all performers. He did a lot of stuff that I did, and that really has a place in my heart. He was a great stand-up comedian, a great character comedian, a great sketch comedian, a great improv guy. So, Mark, I hope you're looking down and watching this. We all love you so much. I'm so honored to be here. And I'm just going to do a little Trumpy, because we would get on the phone and go back and forth. Oh, sorry, Penny, were you coming up? It's okay. I just want to do a little Trump for Mark, because we would get on the phone and go back and forth doing our Trumps. So, Mark, this is for you. I'm so excited to be here to talk about such a talented guy, an amazing guy, a funny guy. Me, I'm so amazing. Mark was good too, but I'm so amazing. And we're here in Las Vegas, my second home. We have the tremendous Trump Tower right here on the Strip. Isn't it amazing? I always say, if it's not a Trump hotel, it's a dump hotel. Yeah. It's true. And the warm weather's here. We have the warm weather back. That means the pool parties at the Trump Tower. And we have the best pool parties, by the way. We have the best pool parties because we have the wettest water in Las Vegas. The wettest water. We have a no evaporation policy. Our water's there all summer. And a no uggo policy. Believe me, no unattractive women. It's true. And I
think everyone knows, and Mark knows this too, how much I love, love, love Las Vegas. And when I get back in January of next year, we are going to build a wall around Las Vegas and make Laughlin pay for it. Because that place is a shithole, and they should have burned it down years ago. It's absolutely, what a dump, what a dump. Mark, we love you, man. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for this time.
John DiDomenico. So great, so great. I also want to, do you see these hats up here? These are all hats that Mark wore throughout his entire career, and we are going to be giving them away. If you can answer trivia about Mark. All right, and to get going, we have some fabulous singers. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Alicia and Victor.
Hi guys. Oops. Hang on, I can't drop my wine.
So this song that we're going to do, Mark always told us that it was one of his favorites that we did. I don't know if he, was just saying that so we would shut up, just to shut us up. Knowing Mark, that's probably what he was doing.
I guarantee you he'd just be nice.
He was just being nice.
Hold on, I gotta fix this.
Sarcastic, but nice.
Stand up closer so I'm not in the front. Remember, you're the front person.
Well.
Yeah.
Sometimes when this place gets kind of empty, sound of the black face with my life. I think about the loveless fascination under the Milky Way tonight. Lower the curtain down on Memphis. Lower the curtain down, alright. I've got no time for private consultation. Hey, under the Milky Way tonight. I wish I knew what you were looking for. I might have known what you would find. I did something quite peculiar. I kept him from making a mistake. Something that's chivalry and wise. Leads you here despite your destination. Hey, under the Milky Way tonight. I wish I knew what you were looking for. I might have known what you would find. I wish I knew what you were looking for. I might have known what you would find. I did something quite peculiar. It's something shimmering and white. It leads you here despite your destination. Under the Milky Way tonight. I wish I knew was a song that Mark would frequently do, and he was incredible with this song. But I think he would like it better if it was a sing-along, right? So the chorus, and I think Mark's favorite part would be that we were all gonna sing doo-doo together.
Yeah, because you know. So we're gonna need you mainly to sing doo-doo. So you're the doo-doo guy.
And so it's Brandy, you're a fine girl, Looking Glass, right? So you know the doo-doos. Everybody find your note, because I'm not good at harmony. This is not a good moment for me.
Right, so we'll find a note.
So, all right, good, do it. You're not good.
Danny, where's your note?
That's perfect.
Come on. You're gonna sing in a second here.
Sparky, what's your note?
All right.
Pretty damn good.
What about, hey, what about you? There you go. Ready?
Oh,
2, 3, 4. Wait, you guys get messed up.
Your note has left the building.
All right. You got a problem with my note? 2, 3, 4.
Port on a western bay, it serves 100 ships a day. Lonely sailors pass the time away and talk about their home. Well, there's a girl in this harbor town, and she was laying whiskey down at the brandy. But you're not around. She serves them whiskey wine. Sailors say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But her eyes could steal a sailor from the Brandy wears a braided chain, fine as silver from the north of Spain. A locket that bears the name of a Brandy love. Oh, she came on a summer's day, bringing gifts from far away, but it made it clear he couldn't stay. The harbor was his home. Sailors said, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is to sing. Now Brandy used to watch his eyes when he told the sailors glory. She could feel the ocean full of rise, storms rage and glory. But he had always told the truth, though he wore an honest mind. And Brandy tried her best to At night, when the bars closed down, Brandy walks silent town and loves a man who's not around. She still can hear him say, hears him say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is to sing. Oh, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. Love you, Mark. Love you.
Alicia and Victor, please let them hear it. Alicia and Victor. And now please avert your eyes to the screens.
Hi, my name is Chuck. Mark and I have known each other for decades. We were both in the singing telegram business together. We actually met the first time at a Christmas party. He was performing as Garth Brooks, I was Elvis, and afterwards we talked, and it was romance at first sight. And over the years, I had the pleasure of performing with him a number of times, and it was hard to do so, but I'll tll you why. Before we would go to a party, I would say, okay, why don't you do something first, and then I'll come in as Elvis or whatever, we'll go back and forth. And he would start off, and I would notice after several minutes that I'm just standing there watching him. And I thought, whoa, I better start entertaining here or else they're not going to want to pay me. But I was just so caught up in his personality and his ability to entertain that all I wanted to do was just sit down and watch him. And in any case, after he moved to Las Vegas, I'm out here in Los Angeles, when he would come into town, we would get together. And it might surprise people, but Mark had a very philosophical mind. In fact, he watched a 55-episode series on Buddha that I recommended to him, and we would talk about the principles that Buddha taught, past lives and so on. We were both in agreement, as Buddha said, that there's really no birth and really no death, there's only transition. And as John Lennon put it, death is simply getting out of one car and into another. So while Mark is not here in the physical form that I knew him in this lifetime, I know that he simply transitioned into the next. And that being the case, Mark, enjoy the new car that God gave you. And I look forward in the next lifetime to jumping in the front seat with you and continuing our ride together. Until then, brother, God bless.
That was beautiful. And Mark did like to drive all over, didn't he? Again, talking about the many facets of Mark's life. One is he spends a great deal of time with some of his friends playing volleyball. And this next guy is a fabulous magician. He has performed all over the country at corporate shows, and he's doing comedy and magic for you tonight. How lucky are we? Put your hands together for Dave Johnson.
Out there. Everybody say yay! Yay! All right, so I was told I should do about 5 to 7 minutes, and in honor of Mark, I thought I would go long. I need everybody to stand up right where you're at. Everyone stand up from the table. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Put your drinks down, stand up. All right, here's what's gonna happen. If you have an even birthday, that's one that ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. This is the date, not the, you got me, okay. Even birthday one ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. This is the date, not the year. Place your hands apart like this. If you have an odd birthday, that's one that ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Place your hands together like this. For those of you who don't know, probably in the wrong city. Now, my parents ask me all the time how I'm doing here in Las Vegas. And I like to tell them that I'm getting standing ovations at every single show. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you very much. So I need to get someone up here on stage that I've never met before. Who knows who I am? Raise your hand if you know who I am. All right, looking for someone without a hand. Sir, right here in the class, you are not raising your hand. What is your name? Steve. Steve, you mind helping me on the stage, Steve? Big round of applause for Steve as he makes his way up on the stage. Straight in front of here. Walk on this side of my case. Steve, we're going to play a little bit of a game. The game is this. First of all, Steve, do you ever reuse gift bags? Yes. You do? Yeah, everybody does, right? It's the American way. I reuse gift bags all the time. This one's been used a lot. You see some duct tape right there. And Steve, the color, question today is, what color is this right here? Red. Red, great. What color is this right here? Yellow, good. What color is this one right here? Green. Green, good. If I have 2 of each, how many balls do I have today?
2 of each, 6.
6, good, that's right, here we go. 4, 5, and 6. Here's what's gonna happen. Steve's gonna reach inside the bag, and he's gonna grab out one of my balls, all right? He's gonna reach inside the bag and grab out one of my spheres, all right? They're spongy, so you can go ahead and fist them if you like to, okay? And you can close them in your hand. I'm gonna reach inside and grab one of the spheres. Let's see if I get the same color sphere that Steve gets, all right? It's a guessing game that's fun for everyone. No help from the audience, no help from the audience. Steve, are you ready? Reach inside there and grab a sphere. All the way in. You got one? Good, close your hand, excellent. All right.
8.
Count of 3, Steve. 1, 2, 3. What did you get? Open up. Yellow, I got yellow, not too shabby at all. All right. Steve, reach inside there and grab the sphere. Anyone you want. You got one, yes. Okay, good. I'm reaching inside and grab one, too. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. What did you get? I'm showing red. I've got red and not too bad. Yes. Steve. All right, Steve, reach inside there and grab the sphere. Anyone you want. Up to you. You got one. You got one. Good. Excellent. Steve, I've got one, too. Count of 3, Steve. 1, 2, 3. You've got red. I've got red. It's a miracle. All right. Steve, reach inside there and grab one of the spheres. Anyone you want. Steve, grab it a sphere. All right. You got one. Yes. All right, good. I'm gonna grab one also. All right, Steve, I'm guessing it was red again. 1, 2, 3, what did you get? It was red. Oh my gosh. Amazing, Steve. I'll take that back. Steve, reach inside and grab the sphere. Anyone you want. You got it? Yes. All right. When I said grab a sphere. Okay, go ahead. Steve, did you grab 1 or 2? You grabbed 2. I grabbed 2 also. All right, Steve, let's see what I can do. Steve, I'm going to give you a heads up. All right. Stay right there. Don't be angry. All right, Steve, reach inside and grab the sphere. Okay. I've got one too. Was it green this time? Steve, do you know this is done? Yes. Good. There's a giant hole right here. Good. Now that Steve knows how the magic's done, he's going to be the magician. I'm going to be the assistant. No. Here, yeah, it's going to be really easy. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to reach inside and grab a ball. Let's say you grab a green ball. Here's what Steve's going to do. Steve's going to get to go and use a magic wand. Steve, you use your magic wand right there. And you reach inside and grab a ball. Let's see if you grab the same color ball that I get, all right? Steve, I'm going to reach inside and grab a ball. And then you're going to go and reach inside and grab the ball, too, yes? Okay, Steve, use the magic wand if the window doesn't work. Steve, I got one. Reach inside and grab whatever one you think I... Look for the one that has 1. Okay. All right. Steve, count of 1, 2, 3. What did you get? Green. I've got yellow. Okay. That's... I don't know what happened. I'm not sure. I don't know. Steve, use your magic wand. Wave it over yours. Wave it over yours. Wave it over mine. Wave it over mine. Wave it over mine. Okay. I think that worked out pretty well. He's got it. Guys, my name's Dave Johnson. Thank you very much. That's it.
Oh, okay. Give it up for Dave Johnson, everybody. Dave Johnson. I thought he was going to go long. He lied. Higher. No. Now I'm going to be bringing... Oh, actually, never mind. We're going to do one hat giveaway. Are you ready, guys? All right. So, if you know trivia about Mark Wilde, they're all in this hat, and you can pick a hat, get it in your mind if you want a hat. If you don't want a hat, you can just not take it. All right. How did Mark almost lose his nose?
I know.
Don't ask his brother.
Wait, what was the question?
What? How did Mark almost lose his nose?
I know.
You
Can
don't.
I say it?
Say it. Say it. What is
Pay
it?
attention. It was a horse.
A horse. Get up. Stand up. Get up here. Come on down. You want a hat? All right. Now, how did you know that?
You told me.
All right. And the hat. Okay. And what's your name?
Oh, Terry.
Oh, you're Terry. You're coming back up. Oh, you. So, all right. Whatever. Asking me out? Are you asking me out? I'm just kidding. All right, Terry. Pick a hat. All right. And now we're going to bring up. Yeah. Okay. And now I'm just kidding. All right, Terry. That's a good one. Put it on, Terry. We're going to come back. Terry's coming back. And in the meantime, we're bringing on one of his very old school friends. Please give it up for Mikey Bryan. Come on, Mikey Bryan. Take your time. It's okay. I'm just kidding. Come on, Mikey Bryan. All right, shake everyone's hand. Go on. Here you go. Hi, Mike. Hi. Okay. All right. All right.
Hey, man. How's it going? Thank you all for coming tonight. I'm still in shock, so I'm just, wow. I've known Mike since I was 14. My siblings went to the Catholic school, I went to the public school. He was in the play, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And who was he? Elvis. Hey, 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 Joseph! I can't sing like him. But my brother was in the band in front of the play, playing drums. And they just clicked. So what they did, they formed a band. This is high school, remember? They were doing cover songs. I mean, they played in our garage, they played in our basement. And that's how I met him. He was going through hard times as a teenager. And I'm not gonna get into deep detail, but my family took him under our wings and he lived with us for 2.5 years. So, he is my brother. He'll always be my brother. Funny stories. Do I have a couple hours? One of my favorites. Do you remember the old 8mm reel-to-reel films? We would make funny skits with those 8mm films. And who remembers Saturday Night Live, the old Saturday Night Live? Mr. Bill. Who remembers Mr. Bill? We made a clay figure of Mr. Bill, put him in our driveway. And first of all, I gotta tell you about his car. He had an old white Volkswagen with the Rolls Royce front. That's Mike. He came pulling into my driveway, like, dude, where'd you get this? He's like, you like it? I freaking love it. Are you kidding me? I meant to, anyway, technology. My little brother's the whiz on the computer, and I meant to bring a film of that and show it to you, but I couldn't. Again, my little brother's not here. First of all, I'm here to represent my family, so thank you for filming this. I want a copy of this for my family, please. And the video that made that video, I want a copy of that. I have 2 hours, what do you want to know? Yeah, just growing up with him, the band. I would sit there and watch them in the garage or the basement, and they'd take breaks. And him and the guitarist and I would sit there and just make up goofy songs. I mean, I wish I had those on, my little brother has those on tape. But just the humor and but still, the music. They went to a school called Union Catholic High School, which is in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. And here's a little trivia for you. Who played there? The Who and Black Sabbath. And Google it tonight when you get home. But anyway, I'm not a comedian. Here's my New Jersey poem. I grew up in New Jersey. That's where I met him. Here's a New Jersey pickup line, or a New Jersey poem, I should say. Roses are red, violets are blooming. Hey, how you doing? My New Jersey pickup line. It's like, hey, anybody ever tell you belong in the movies? Well, the movie starts at 8 o'clock, I'll pick you up at 7:30. Anyway, he's always been a brother to me, and when I got the news, my family got the news, we're just still, wow. I want to talk to you, I want to talk to your other brother, I want to meet every one of you. And I will be happy to tell you stories, I'll be happy to tell you anything. Thank you all for coming tonight. Wow, this is hard. He's been my brother. So many stories. You sure I can have a couple hours? I'm sorry. After the show. Come see me. I want to meet you all. I live in Utah. If there's any skiers, snowboarders, come visit me. sorry to miss that.
Thank you, Mikey Bryan. Mikey Bryan. So I'm going to bring on this next person. She's a very, very dear friend of mine, as well as Mark's. I don't know if you know who she is, but ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pamela Yeager. Just up here a second ago. So we're supposed to be doing comedy, I guess, but for God's sakes, I'm gonna have a miscarriage up here. First of all, we have a drink. It's called a punchline for Mark. So, cheers, Mark. So you guys should drink that up. I think here, Penny can take that for a second. So so Mark, Mark was my best friend, and we met through Penny about 10 years ago, and since that time he has been a part of our family, because that's the way he is, right? With people, he becomes a part of their family, and he used to come into our house, and he used to take care of my children and my husband, and he knew my kids back when they used to like to, you know, they were little. They're 14 now, so they were 4. I do math. Thanks. And he'd come over, and it was during the time when they used to like to come out and play the naked game. So, you know, when kids are that age, as soon as Mark would come over, they'd come out and they'd go like, ah! They'd like goes, oh my God, put your clothes on! You can't do this to me! What's wrong with you people? Why do they always do it when I come over? I don't understand it. And he was the person that was our emergency contact. So that's how close we were. He goes, something is wrong with you if I'm your emergency contact. You should reevaluate your friends. But it's true, because everybody knew, even though he made those jokes and stuff like that, he was that person that you could call up, and he would take care of your animals, he'd take care of your children, and drive your husband to the hospital, or pick you up from the airport, or talk to you for miles when he'd drive across country to North Carolina to get his teeth done. Who does that? Or go take a detour down in New Orleans and visit your family, to visit with your brother, my brother Maury, today is his birthday too, so this makes it extra special. But yes, he was extremely special, and he also helped me with America's Got Talent audition. He helped me with a lot of jokes. He wrote some jokes about my kids. He says, because I have twins, and I have one of each, a con artist and an accomplice. And I married an older man. He's actually 86. Yeah. And Mary is over there. And people used to say, like, how could you marry somebody so old, And I was like, for the parking. And the hearts wants what it wants. I wanted true love, and his wants a pill every 4 hours. But it's been very difficult, as you know, for all of us, and I know that he's in everybody's heart. And what's been great is that I've been working with Penny and Gina and another great friend of ours, a great friend of Mark's, a dear friend who I'm going to bring up right now, who was responsible for putting together that beautiful video. Yeah. And he's an amazing DJ and an amazing friend. Please put your hands together for Eric Snow.
Wow. So many things to say, not enough time. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit light so I don't lose my mind up here. My mind's swimming today, I apologize. But I want to explain the Baberella video, actually, and I'll tell you why. But probably saw that in the very beginning of the video. Funny story about that movie. See, there's Mark there on the right. I was in his house, I saw the DVD, and I go, what's this? That's you on the cover. And he's like, yeah, put that in my house here. I'm like, oh, we're watching this, buddy. Yeah.
So in the movie, so you guys know, he'd be horrified right now with me telling you this, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. When you leave your best friend early, you get what you get, Mark. So this is my revenge for him doing that to me. You played a guy named Rudy, and he was the sexual nexus of the universe. Yeah, I'll tell you what, any guy would kill for that role, I guess. But he always played it down, and I used to think he was embarrassed by it. It was because he's humble. He was just really humble. Like, he never bragged about shit. Like, he was just always like, he just would bring it, and that was it. Work's over, you know. And I used to joke with him, we'd be out, like there'd be some girls or something, we'd be at a bar or something like that, or out somewhere at a party, and I'd call him Rudy, and he'd go, I am never telling you anything ever again. I actually imagine what Mark would say if he found out that Penny, Pam, G, and I put on a celebration for him. I think the words would be, oh Christ. But going back a bit, when I had met Mark, I had not seen him on stage. You know, I met him, and I was like, come on, dude, do some stand-up. I love comedy. Get up on the stage. He's like, I've done that. I don't do it. So I was just begging him, like, come on, man, you know. And so then he started doing singing telegrams and impersonations and that kind of thing. And I still didn't see it. So he came to me one time, and I think he was opening up because I kept bothering him, like, just do a set for me, you know. Come on, man, just let me see you. And he came to me one day and he goes, you know, I do Frank Sinatra. And I go, you do Frank Sinatra? And I felt like a dick because he looked nothing like Frank Sinatra. I had no idea what this guy was capable of. And so he made this, like, he used to make this like lemon head face. He'd go like this. And so he gave me that face, and I just instantly felt like crap. I went, oh, I just hurt his feelings. I'm such an asshole. So like a couple months go by, and this lady calls me and she goes, we want you to come DJ like a reception. It was during COVID. We were supposed to go see Garth Brooks. We're giant Garth Brooks fans. And we want you to play a lot of Garth Brooks. And there's Mark right there. I took that pit photo of him. First time I ever saw him, and I was like, okay, let's just have Mark do it, you know, and I'm praying it's gonna be good. I'm like, all nervous. This guy comes out, sings The River. I don't know if you know Garth Brooks or not. He opens with The River, like one of the hardest songs on the album. I'm not even a singer. I'm going, that's not an easy song. I mean, seriously. And then launches into the whole Rope in the Wind album. All the girls are like, oh my God. Mark's just like, hey, you want to play guitar? And I'm just going, holy shit, this guy is good. Like, and he did like a whole concert, you know. And he's like changing by the pool pump, just dropping trowel, you know, and putting his stuff on. No one can see him, you know. And I'm all nervous, going, okay, well, this is good. You know, he's got his hat on. He looks like Garth Brooks, okay. But he just crushed it. And from then on, I used to call Mark the master of the living room. Because he was. He was the master of the freaking living room. He'd do anything. And then, you know, like comics are attracted to like sticky Denny's counters like flies, you know, like they're always going out for late night food after their gigs and stuff, you know, like Sherry's and Denny's. They love that stuff, pancake houses and stuff. So he would always call me up and go, what's your situation? I go, nothing. It's midnight. I'm just in bed. You want to go get some pancakes or or just a midnight show of clowns after midnight at 12:30? We could make it if you hurry. That kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's go. So we go see these shows and go out together and see my brain, what's my point? We'd go out together and we'd hit these cheap food places at Denny's or whatever and go around, but I'd always see him like at the end of a show. Like I'd see him like his Dean Martin wig, like I'd be at the Orleans, I'm close to there, and he's like, I'm at the Orleans, come by, get to the end. And he'd be singing. Oh, we got ahead of ourselves. That's Mark after 3 apple Angry Orchard ciders. He never drank, by the way, wasn't a drug guy, but you give him 3 or 4 of those, that's what happens, okay? I got a little hit on that one, so. But anyway, it was just he lived out of his car like an RV. He was always like changing in parking lots and he'd just I'd get in his car and he's like moving wig heads and canes and the Technicolor Dreamcoat or whatever the fuck was in the car that day, and he's making room for me and he's throwing things in the back. Get in, we're going to Denny's or wherever we're going. And it was awesome. It was like some of the best times, and he really taught me a lot about Vegas show business. Just met so many people. He always knew like, oh, David Tell is doing a secret show, let's go. Or Colin Quinn, who he knew from New York, is doing this, let's go. And it was amazing. Like we met everybody, saw everybody. It was all Mark. It was incredible. So I'm going to end with one more thing, and this goes back to the humbleness. So, you know, Mark was unassuming. He never boasted about what he did. He just went out and did it. And this brings me to Rob Williams. Mark hated Rob Williams. I'm like, why? Like, Rob Williams is funny, right? You know? And he hated him. And I was like, why? He's in movies, and Mark would just go, lemon face, you know, and I'd be like, okay, I'll try it, whatever. And when we would come on, we'd have to change it or whatever if Rob Williams was in it. So some of you guys know that Mark was a comedic guitar act, besides doing his stand-up. Evidently he had a bit called Elmer Fudd Sings Bruce Springsteen, which he did when he was 18 years old. He performed it on stage a couple times, and then Rob Williams started doing it, and he actually closed his set at Evening Rob Williams with that bit. Yeah, I know, shitty, right? Yeah, I'd like to think Rob Williams is a good guy, but anyway, it kind of traumatized him, and he never talked about it because he was 18. He's like, yeah, it used to be my bit, Rob Williams stole it. Like, sure, Rob Williams stole your bit. But if you look at the evidence up here on the screen, you can see right there that that's the guy that would go, I don't have it in my car, I turn on the radio. I can't do it, folks, but he did the whole song, it was brilliant. And you can even see even angry Elmer Fudd. Next slide there. See, it's a dead ringer. So I just wanted to like set the record straight for my friend who can't defend himself. And Mark, I love you, buddy, and you'll always be with me. You taught me so much, man, and you'll always be one of my best friends ever, man. So thank you guys for coming, and enjoy with the show.
Eric Snow, everybody. Eric Snow. Well, guess what? We have another trivia. And so here's this trivia. And you can also have this hat too if you want, because it's so cool. And Aaron O'Rourke, you're on standby, because you're up next. But so the trivia is, does anyone know Mark Wilde's name?
I do.
What? Someone that doesn't know him from the childhood. All right, wait, we have. What is it, Justine? Okay, that's one. Come on up, pick a hat, Justine. Well, there's another name. He actually has 3 names. Nope. Michael what? McLeod. We don't have a McLeod. What? Back there, in the back. What? No. Waziva. Your
first name is Michael.
Yeah, we got Michael. Justine? Where's Justine? Oh, okay, Justine picked a hat. What was his first name was Michael. What was his last name?
McLeod.
No, I don't have a McLeod on here. Gina, was it McLeod? I don't know. No, you're making things up. Yes, you, right there. Koval, yes, come on up. I know some of you said it. I'll give you some prizes. Whoever said it, I'll give you some. I have other prizes too for you guys. Yay! Who is that? Oh, Audrey! Give it up for Audrey! Audrey! Come on up, pick a hat, Audrey. Just make it under 3 seconds if you can. And now I'm going to be bringing up this next guy. He was one of Mark's favorite singers, and he's going to be singing one of Mark's favorite songs. All right, Audrey, yeehaw! This ain't Texas. This ain't Texas. That's all I know. All right, please give it up for Aaron O'Rourke.
There's a lot of really great professional performers and comedians here. Let's give them a big hand. They're really doing a great job for Mark. There's also me. So I'm Aaron, like I said. I kind of want to do this in true Mark Wilde fashion, so I'm going to do the indoor sunglasses. And every time I ever saw him sing this song at karaoke, which was multiple times, he always sat on a stool. So I'm going to do that. Real quickly also, there's one of my favorite, again, I'm not a professional comedian, so I'm going to mess this up probably, but one of my favorite jokes that Mark told, he said, you know, I always felt like I was dead inside. And then I came to this gig here, and I died a little more inside. So it's good to know that there's still some life in there. Miss you, Mark. Go ahead, Eric.
shaving razor's cold and it stings. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? You once thought of me as a white knight on his steed. Now you know how happy I can be. Oh, and our good times start and end without $1 to spend. But how much, baby, do we really need? Cheer up, sleepy teen. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Everybody, cheer up, sleepy teen. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming
Thank you so much, Aaron. Put your hands together for Aaron. That was beautiful. And you know, I played water volleyball with you, Aaron, right next door. Next time I'm gonna have you sing next to me. And speaking of other comedians, fabulous comedians, we have actually, is he? I don't really know what he does. Does anybody really know? Mark Messina, do we know what he does? I think people are still out. We know he's fabulous, but we still don't know quite what he does. But he does it everywhere, so that's really cool. And he's here to tell a funny story about Mark or something like that. Put your hands together for Mark Messina!
Thank you, Pam. That was awesome. Thank you guys for being here. It means a lot. And his brothers are here. We've never met, but I would love to meet you guys after and just talk your ears off about how much love there is for Mark. I mean, just look around this room. The guy touched so many of us. Guys, please bear with me. I didn't have anything prepared. Penny just asked me before this if I would get up and talk, and honestly, I'm honored to. Thank you guys for putting this together. Mark is an incredible human. Mark is, we had a really special bond. The thing about Mark that's, you know, he's a bit of a paradox, right? Because he can be like a textbook curmudgeon, right? He can be grumpy, like really, really grumpy a lot. But yet he's literally was just a ball of light, right? And he was full of so much passion, and it didn't make sense, but that was him, and that's why we loved him. If you've ever been to a party where Mark brought his guitar, you know about the passion. When Mark decides, I'm going to play a set, he plays a set. He'll commandeer a room at a party, and he will make sure that there's an audience, and if you speak while he's singing, if you've been there, you know, do not talk. It's a party? No, not right now. It is Mark's show. And it was always incredible. In fact, you guys know my thing with karaoke. I know I shouldn't sing, but I do all the time. And I can't tell how many times I sang with Mark, and somehow he figured out with my pitchy voice how to harmonize with me and make me sound better. And I really miss that guy. Mark and I had, it was a very special friendship, and over the last 4 years, give or take, it really grew even more. And you guys know me. I've been told my politics are divisive. I know. Mark could not have been more opposite in his beliefs on worldviews and politics than me, and he was very passionate about them. And I lost a lot of friends in 2020 when I was vocal. And just the crazy thing is that my friendship with Mark got stronger because of that. And also, I want to thank Eric Snow. We used to hang out, the three of us, a lot. Eric would say he was hanging out with the Marks. He just told me that backstage. And those were always incredible nights. But there was this one time during the lockdown, and everyone was really tense that period. I get it. And we were sitting around having a guys' night, and Mark and I started, discussing or maybe debating, and it got really heated, like really, really heated. And at one point, I was trying to figure out why he was getting so angry, and I said, Mark, just because I don't agree with the same things as you, it has nothing to do with how I feel about you. Like, I don't hate you, I love you. I told him, you could think the exact opposite of everything, but I would still take a bullet for you. And I remember that moment, because he got it. And from that point on, like, our friendship just, it really evolved. Some of you guys were at my birthday roast, and I asked Mark if he would be part of it, and like, he was surprised. I asked him, I was like, are you kidding me? You're one of the funniest guys I know. Like, you make me laugh more than anyone, all the time. And he was, if you were there, you remember, he was incredible. And then he goes, Mark, you haven't performed in 18 years on stage. Would you like, I'm a professional, would you like me to review some of your jokes? And I was like, really? So for like the 2 weeks leading up to it, I talked to him like every day, and I would read the jokes, and he's just so brilliant and talented in so many ways. And he would give me this great feedback, except for this one time. I told him one of the jokes, he goes, I don't think anyone's gonna get that. I don't think anyone's gonna get that. I'm like, which part of it don't you understand? He's like, I think you said TikTok, what is that? Nobody knows what that is. Yeah, I really miss him. It's so special that we had so many differences, and yet it got us closer, and that's so rare today. And I just hope people can remember that, like, we're all God's children, and we are all one. And Mark was like the first person in a long time in my life to think the complete opposite of me and get closer, and it meant a lot to me. Some of you guys know that recently I found God. It was 7/11/22. It was July 11th, 2022, 3:30 p.m. on a Monday, and I had a visit, and I knew what it was, and I surrendered to it, and everything in my life changed in 12 hours. I'd lost everything during the lockdown, and everything, it was God. And I don't want to sound corny, but we've lost a lot of friends lately, and too young, and Mark is no exception. And I know in my heart that he cracked the code. He figured it out, and God said, good work. You don't need to be in this spinning shit show anymore. And I know he's in a better place, and I just want to say, I love you, Mark, and I miss you, brother. Thank you, guys.
Mark and Tina. And without further ado, I'd like to bring up one of my dear friends, Kelly Vaughn.
Sing a song.
Yeah, I am. This is for you, Mark. We all miss you and love you. And boy, could he make Gina laugh. Even if they were fighting, she'd be peeing her pants, not fighting. So this song's for you. Please hit it. No
Sparky get up here. This is Sparky, everybody. She's gonna speak for 1 minute. Right, Sparky? All right.
Hi everybody, I'm Sparky. I first met Mark at water volleyball, like a lot of us did, but we did a lot of things together, parties at Eric's house. But last year we got to do American Ninja Warriors together. I needed extras to be with me, and we stayed huddled up from midnight to 6 in the morning for 5 nights in a row, and we just really got to know each other, and we had the best time. Mark was the guy who showed up. Pam kind of already touched on that. If you needed a ride to a doctor's office appointment, if you needed a ride to the airport, if you needed somebody to give you a hard time because maybe it'd been a while, he was the guy. And we all loved him. And that's all I got. Thank you.
He also watered my plants. And then we came home and I told him it was artificial. So that's a true story. Speaking of another true story, and somebody who's hilariously funny and has performed on stage for numerous years, including with Amazing Jonathan, and she's been doing stand-up around the town and just killing it, and she helped me together one of my dearest friends. Put your hands together for Penny Wiggins!
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. I know it's a memorial, and we're doing comedy. Is that okay with you guys? Yeah? Yeah, well, despite the fact that it's kind of sad, I'm kind of excited, and I'll tell you why, because I'm in love. Oh, and single. Because I fall in love quickly, it scares guys away. I'm like, I'm in love with you, I want to live with you, and I marry you, and I don't have your kids. And I'm like, ma'am, could you give me the $10 for the pizza? Yeah, okay. I grew up on St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Very much like Jamaica. As kids growing up, we didn't have a lot to do. So what we do for fun was watch the Islanders give the tourists directions. Like, beep, beep, excuse me, hi. Could you help my son and I get to the beach? We're very lost. Sure, man, no problem. So the people like, yeah, this going on, you make a left and then you pass mango tree, go keep on going. That's a donkey tree, make a right, you want to keep on going past this nasty, smelly, stinking, run down, stupid ass house here. I'll take this mango, throw them in, like, I'm gonna steal one mountain 10 years ago, land here and go all the way up. That's the beach. Thank you so much. What did he say, Mama? He said the beach was closed. Get down and shut up. Growing up, I used to think my mother had an accent. Is that weird? Turns out it was just vodka. Where's the alcoholics in the house? On an island, we have to watch the same movie over and over. The Wizard of Oz, my favorite movie. Yes? Thank you, brother. I used to think that little dog Toto was a little annoying, and I would have loved to see Dorothy put him in his place once, right? To be like, Honey, boy, there's no place like home. Shut up, Toto. Did everyone see the movie? And during your singing too, it was like, happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow high. Oh, no, Toto! Oh, please, Toto, don't die. I need you for my sequel, Twister. Too much? Thank you very much. But they were trying to recast The Wizard of Oz like a few years ago. This is true. And Joan Rivers was going to be the good witch. She's like, walk down the yellow brick road, you dirty girl. And then Julia Childs was going to be the Tin Man. Well, don't use oil, use lots and lots of butter, always. Butter. And Jennifer Coolidge was going to be the bad witch. Like, yes. Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, I'll get you, my pretty, and you're a little dog too, dumbass. sound like her too a lot when I'm upset, right? I got pulled over, like, ma'am, I need your driver's license registration. I'm like, look, please, I just want to go home. Please, just let me go home. I'm working it for you people. I like the older Judy because she was so passionate, dramatic, right? She's like, the night is bitter, stars are glitter. Is that a pill? I see a pill. Anyway, let's keep the show rolling along. Thank you guys. I'm Penny Wiggins. Thank you. And thank you. We are almost wrapped up. Only 39 more speakers and comics. I'm just kidding. We are rolling along, and we have our next speaker. Please give it up for Taylor. Taylor, come on up. Taylor.
First time me and my identical twin brother did stand-up comedy together, it was with Mark Wilde. We were performing at Coconuts in Key West, Florida, and we're sitting outside on this cafe ordering breakfast. And the waitress gets to Mark and she says, what would you like? He said, I'd like some orange juice and some toast. She goes, I'm sorry, sir, today we have no toast. He goes, you're a breakfast establishment and you're telling me that you've got no toast. She goes, yes, sir, not today. He goes, I think you're a lying cunt. She's like, oh my God, wouldn't he call me? Everybody starts fleeing this cafe. I mean, escaping. I'm hiding behind a car tire with my twin brother. He runs back into the kitchen. He comes out of the kitchen. He's got 2 loaves of bread in his hand. He's going, no toast! No toast! The great Mark Wilde, ladies and gentlemen. He snapped a lot, but that was part of him. And this is the amazing thing. He was in a really good place. He kind of stopped snapping. And I had mentioned that to Pam. I go, you know, he really stopped snapping. She goes, no, he's still snapped. I said, what do you mean? She goes, 5 years ago, he tried to choke my son out. But she's here and he's here. That shows you the power of Mark Wilde. He hit me with a guitar on stage one time, and I'm here too. Mark was impossible to finish or follow, and there's only one Mark Wilde. We love him, we miss him. Thanks for joining us tonight to celebrate his life.
Not all picture of you look fabulous, by the way, and you're identical. Okay, so and the next person, been an old friend of Mark's. We've covered the comedy and the music, and maybe she'll talk a little bit about that. This next thing, which is all the different faces he had. I think Mark turned. Put your hands together for Justine Ward. Thank you, Pamela.
Yes, I loved Mark for 30 years, and he always said, don't side with me just to appease me. He always said that he could never be friends with anybody who didn't think he was funny. He said, you may not like it, but you got to admit it's funny. That was Mark. He never held a grudge. I knew him many years ago, long before Gina, and he had a girlfriend who was dating another guy, left him at her house with her mother eating pizza, and later when her car broke down, he went and rescued her. That's just Mark all the way. He got paid in meat. He did these gigs in small towns all over the country, and he came back with pounds of meat from one. We threw a big party, and we always asked, when are you going to go back to that place again? We'd like that. They dropped the charges. Mark once had a gig in a small town where he picked a woman up in the audience, threw her over his shoulder, and removed her from the room. The charges were dropped. when the police chief saw the next show in that town, he invited Mark back, and he said, "This guy is really funny." So my husband John made a cartoon of Mark swinging a woman around by her hair, and the caption, "Well, don't I look like the asshole here?" He said she should have known it was an interactive show. And that was always Mark, just really engage the audience. We loved to, Mark always complained that he had one good feature, that it wasn't socially acceptable to show in public. And we loved to perform at Wellington's, which was a cabaret club owned by a gay couple in Hollywood. And the guy who owned it was named John. His nickname was Mumsy. And Mark did a wonderful impression of him. "Language, language, we will have no language here." And you can imagine how well Mark went along with that rule. And one of the patrons called Mark's toupee his Hollywood hairdo. And he always encouraged Mark by saying, "You can't arrest what you can't describe." And Mark was totally indescribable and very loved. He was on a gig with, and he had to share a condo because they would put the comics up in these all over the country places that they went. He was with a comedian named Uncle Dirty. Now, he had to avoid him. He tried to avoid him, but one day he encountered him and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Uncle Dirty said, "I had done a lot in my life. I robbed a bank, sucked a cock, and killed a man." When Mark told his girlfriend the story, she said, "He sucked a cock?" Mark said, "Well, what really stood out for me was killed a man." Well, life will never be the same without Mark. I loved him so much, and I loved him for 30 years, and he came to our house every time he had a chance, and we dearly loved him, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Justine Ward. Justine Ward. And we're rolling. I'm going to bring on this next comic. She's one of my best friends in the whole world. Please give it up for Andrea Abbott.
Hi, you guys. And this is Nathan, also known as Toto. I met Mark in the late 90s when he played at a bachelorette party of mine, being Kato Kalin. And that was the highlight of that whole marriage. He was, not that he was great, but my husband was bad. But Mark was very instrumental. He was so fun. He was a friend of Penny's when Penny lived in LA and became a friend of mine. And then when I came out here, I went into comedy writing and became a writer for many years. But then it was at his birthday party last year, right at this time, that he had a comedy stage at Eric Snow's house, kind of like the improv setup. And he was like, "Get on stage, tell your worst jokes." He liked that I'm very crass and dark, and because he was. And so, in honor of that, I'm not going to do those jokes because I see children here, but I will do some. What, they left? Okay, no, there's a baby here. But I went on to have 4 marriages, and he did not perform at all of them. I couldn't afford him, but he was there in spirit. My first husband, I'm sure there's a lot of you who've been multiply married. My first husband and I should not have gotten married. I was not in love. I had to get married, you know, because I was broke. And you know, my credit cards were so maxed out, I was paying interest on margaritas I'd thrown up years ago. We did not get along. You know what he did that really bugged me? he'd come home. That shit'll get on your nerves after a while. It really will. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to learn from this mistake. And now, my second one, I'm married for love. Love, love. I love this guy, and he loved me, and some other people. And so, yeah, he cheated on me, and I was so bummed out. I was just, depressed. But I pulled myself together. You know, I picked myself up and had an affair with our pool man. Ladies, for $80 a month, you can get a really cute, young, hunky guy to come to your house every week. Of course, my husband, caught on after a while because we didn't have a pool. Laugh at my pain, thank you. But then I thought, okay, the third time, I'm in LA, so 3, 4, 5 marriages, that's not bad. But, so the third time I thought, I've got to get this right. I'm a laughingstock. And they say the third time's a charm, but it really wasn't for me because this guy had a temper. He shoved me, Penny knew he hit me, he cut up my clothes, he broke a rib. I know it was bad. And it wasn't even that he was abusive that bothered me that much. It's that he was not handsome enough to act like that. Thank you. Thank you. You gotta look in the mirror before you punch someone. Yes. I mean, I could see if you were married to Ryan Reynolds or Michael B. Jordan, hey, they could throw a bottle of wine at you here and there. You could live with that, but not Howard. No, not Howard. If I was married to Ryan Reynolds, I'd be like, ow, Ryan. Ouch. I have insurance, it's okay. But you have to know who you're with. And then I guess I will say a dirty joke for Mark's sake. Yeah, I'm going low, so just brace yourself. But the thing about that husband, I'm now married for the 4th time, and I got a good one this time. Yeah, he's English, he's wonderful, he's very understated. I was running a red light the other day, about to kill my entire family, and he looks up and all he says is, "It's not as green as it might be." That's not the dirty joke. But my third husband was awful. Besides having a temper, he was really into taking pictures of me and videoing me and documenting our horrible life. I have 4 sons, and I remember the last time I was pregnant, he videotaped the whole abortion. And Mark's favorite joke. And I should have brought the video. It was like, oh my God, he has your spine. It was just like you were blue in a trash can. Thank you, folks. My ex-husband was pissed. His sister is very, born-again Christian, and she was pissed at me. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you killed your child. I'm like, well, God killed his only son, so. She's like, that is not fair. He died for our sins. I'm like, yeah, so did mine. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mark. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Andrea. Andrea Abbott, everybody. All the way from LA to come here. Yes. And now, please give it up for Ziva. And Terry, you're next, and Shama, you're next. After Terry.
I have to get this out. All right, got it. Okay. Hi. First, I'd like to say to Penny and Pamela and Gina and Eric, thank you. This is such a beautiful send-off. It really is quite beautiful. And I think Mark couldn't be more happy to see his friends send him off in this way. So thank you, and thank you for asking me to give a little tribute to Mark. I met Mark, I think it was about 8 or 9 years ago. We worked together on a TV show, and we were friends immediately. I mean, just immediately. And we clicked so easily and so quickly. It was like I had known him for years, and I'd known him for a day. And as we got to know each other better, we ended up working on more shows together. And then I ended up moving back here to Las Vegas, and we would meet once a month for burritos. It was kind of our thing. Sometimes twice a month if our schedules permitted. Sometimes we'd actually meet in LA for burritos, and we'd discuss all the things. And as we got to know each other even better, you know, I started to tell him about how, you know, I was a very late bloomer. I've always been a very late bloomer. And in high school, I hadn't fully developed as a woman yet, and it wasn't until I was in college that I started filling out. And so the next time we met for a burrito, we meet in a little cafe, burrito, one of those little mom and pop shops. And I walk in, and I happen to be Jewish, by the way. And there's a good number of people in this little mom and pop place. And I hear from the far corner of the room, Jew boobs! And every time I entered the room from there on out, he would always make my announcement by saying, Jew boobs. So we got to talking, and one time, and he says, I'm a little confused because you have an Irish last name. And I said, yeah, you know, I'm an amalgamation, really. My dad's is Irish, family is very Catholic. And my mom is Native American, Mexican, Jewish. There's not a lot of us in the world, Native American Jews. There are a few, not many. And so I told this to Mark, and he was floored. He said, you're a Native American Jew? And I said, yeah. And he said, wow, there are a lot of people on this planet that don't want you to have a place to live. Mark was a great friend. He was always supportive. And in our many conversations, we would talk about the power of the attraction, the law of attraction. And I would just like to say very quickly that no matter what your religious beliefs may or may not be, everything is energy. And Mark and I talked about that many times with the law of attraction. Everything, you, me, the lake, tree, the car, energy just changes form. That has been scientifically proven. And so as we remember Mark, just know that he is still here with us. His energy is still here.
Thank you so much. And you're right, it used to be, that was one of the other aspects about Mark, was philosophical, and he oops, then the mic drop. How you like that? That was Mark, by the way, Gina. That was what you wanted. That's it. Terry, another very close friend of Mark's is Terry Conch and his son. Thank you so much.
Hi. Met Mark about 25 years ago, and he just took me for a ride. He's, I'm kind of nervous right now, but Mark, I don't know, I wrote 4 pages I have right over here, but it's all serious, and you guys have been funny, and I'm gonna miss Mark. He'd come over all the time, and now that he's not coming over, it's like, well, Mark's not coming. I'm really sad that he's gone. I want to be a downer, but I'm gonna miss him. He was an awesome person. I mean, look at everybody here. My whole family came. They're all sitting back there, and anyway. Yeah, I love you, Mark. I don't usually say I love you to people. I try to show it, but I'm gonna say I love Mark, and what she said about energy, yeah, I totally agree with that. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got to say. And it's my son, Jimmy, who he loved. He took him to New York when he was a kid. Here he is.
Hello everybody, thank you all for being here. Thanks again to Pamela, Penny, and
to Gina, and to Eric Snow. You guys are all awesome, and for all the performers and stuff earlier. I hate to be that guy who pulls out a phone that has a speech on it, but I'm sorry, I'm that guy. Basically, my pen ran out of ink and ran out of paper. It was the whole thing. Most of you have come from afar today and to honor Mark, by either planes, trains, automobiles, all the vehicles there. But the number one thing that everybody was thinking this morning when they all woke up is, what am I gonna wear? As you see, I'm not wearing all black like a typical funeral because Mark, he wouldn't want that. He would want us to all be having fun, and I'm wearing a Beatles shirt in honor of him because that was something that Mark and I shared a lot, was our love of the Beatles. I've known Mark since I was about 8 years old. He would come over to my parents' house and we'd be playing ping pong and pool with my dad in the garage. And Mark was the first person that I ever met that would, he would give me shit. Like, he wouldn't tolerate me like my parents did. If I was acting like a little a-hole, like, he would call me out on my crap. And as a little 8-year-old, I was like, whoa, like, someone's talking back to me? Like, what? Mark, he would tell me, like, hey, you're acting like a little brat, but he was also the person who would take me everywhere. He took me to New York when I was 18. He showed me the whole East Coast, and even when I was a little kid, like, he would take me to Circus down the street, and, he would take me to all the carnival rides and games, and even though I was being a whiny, complaining kid, like, it was like, hey, this dude still wants to hang out with me, even though I'm this little bratty kid. And anyways, while outsiders might have thought that Mark was maybe a little bit brash, a little bit harsh at times, he was anything but that for those who know Mark. Mark, he would take me everywhere, from either the Tomorrow Show that we would see in LA at midnight, and then go to Denny's at 2, 3 in the morning. And he took me all around Vegas. He would we just walk here a lot. He'd be like, oh yeah, here's a cool thing over here. Oh, you have to check out this thing. Like, he always just had a plan. Everywhere that you went with Mark, it's like he knew everything about that area, and he was like a professional tour guide. And during road trips with Mark, when we'd be in the car and stuff for a long time, he'd show me deep cuts of the Kinks and the Monkees and the Beatles, and a lot of times we'd talk about everything. And sometimes it would just be Mark talking, and sometimes he wouldn't stop talking, but that was Mark, though. He was unapologetically himself. And speaking of which, Mark was definitely not afraid to shut somebody up either. As you guys, some of the comics in there know, like with Mark, when he's performing, it's like, hey, you're talking, and it's like, hey, you shut up. But I'll never forget, and it was actually here in Vegas. I think we were with Gina and stuff too. We were all in a restaurant. There was like this kid who would not stop crying, and Mark was just like, oh man, this kid just won't stop. And we're like, Mark, it's okay. It's just a little kid. We're all trying to ignore it. Everybody in the restaurant, you can tell everybody was annoyed with this kid. And then Mark, and he says this very loudly. He spoke the truth, what was on everyone's mind. And he says it, and I quote, I wish somebody would shut that kid up. We did not hear a peep from that kid or the table the rest of the whole night. That was Mark. He spoke what was on everybody's mind, but we were all a little bit too afraid to say it. And that's what Mark taught me too, is that sometimes you just gotta speak up. Mark spoke and acted on what everybody was thinking, but he did without shame, without regret. He was the best, and he was the kind of person that you would either love or hate when you first met him. But despite the impressions that he would give people, he was just nothing but pure good. He would bend over backwards for you, for me and my wife over there, Emma over there. Hey, she's taken, she's mine. Mark would, he rode his motorcycle from Las Vegas all the way down to California just so that we can use it for our wedding photos and everything. And Mark, we thank you for that, man. Then he had him get gigged the next day, so he had to ride the bike all the way down, and then he's like, yeah, you know what, I can only stay here an hour because then I have to go to the airport and stuff to fly back because then I have this gig. It's just like who does that? That's Mark. And I'm gonna miss the times Mark would randomly show up to my parents' house and have breakfast in the morning, and my dad was always the breakfast man in the house. And no matter how my dad did the toast, Mark would always say, like, hey, there's no love on this. There's this is too crumbly. Like, no, that's not enough butter. What are you doing? All the time. But anyways, I know that we got to be wrapping this up. But I just want to leave everybody with just one quote that Mark would always tell me, and always just stuck with me. Is that it goes, a man is not judged by how he performs on his best day, but how he performs on his worst. And Mark was the kind of person where even when he was feeling his worst, he'd always give his best. And Mark, I love you, man, and you're the best.
All right.
I'm really honored to be here. Frankly, I'm surprised that Pam asked me because I remember distinctly the first time I ever met Mark, and I was in a Walmart. And Penny Wiggins was there. I saw you, and he was along for the ride. You guys were just hanging out. And he was, I think he was in a character, and he was playing hide and seek behind the racks. And I don't know, I think it was in a rush or something. I was trying to carry on a conversation with Penny, and he kept doing weird shit like, and he was interjecting, and I was like, oh, that's fine, that's good. And anyway, Penny, listen, I really got to be there. It's 8 o'clock, and he would just do some other weird thing like, just weird, and then he wouldn't stop in the character, right? So this went on for like quite a few minutes, and he just kept doing it, and I was like, wow, this guy is fucking annoying, man. He was so annoying. I mean, he was really getting under my skin, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. I got out of the situation, and then, you know, Penny invited me someplace soon after, and I said, is that Mark guy gonna be there? Because he's fucking annoying, seriously. And I remember telling her, I go, I swear to God, Penny, I go, I know how you are. You say it's just gonna be us, and then you invite other people. If that fucking Mark guy is there, I'm gonna be so pissed. Just don't, make sure he's not there. And then, you know, the next thing happened, and Pam had a party, and, you know, Mark was there, and then Penny had another party, and Mark was there, and I was like, Mark was always fucking there, you know, and I was like, Jesus, man, I can't get away from this fucking guy. And he, you know, he just annoyed the shit out of me, but then over time, like everyone in this room knows, he's freaking adorable, right? I mean, he's adorable. And I mean, it went from like this person who was like needling me, and I know what it is, because he was like, he reminded me of my brother, and my brother would do that shit just to get to me, so it was like triggering something in me, and then I got to know him, and he was the nicest person, right? Like, he would just give you the shirt off his back, even though it was probably a costume, doesn't fucking matter, and he would like do anything for you. He would show up and support my shows, and you know, and I really started to like him, and I like, it was much to my chagrin. I did not want to fucking like this guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I held out as long as I could, but then after a while, I didn't just like him. I loved this guy, and I remember when that turn happened, because I remember I asked Penny if she wanted to do something. I'm like, hey, will you bring that Mark guy? Right? So, yeah, Mark is awesome, and I do have another memory about him. We went out, Penny, I don't know if you were there, we went to that sex museum one night. So there was that, like a museum of sexuality or something, right? And we decided to go to a show. It was like a late night, and we went, and I have to tell you, it was like nothing you've ever seen, right? It was just like vulgar and disgusting, and at some point there was some guy doing some puppetry of a penis thing, but it was just his balls hanging like clackers or something. It was like, I mean, it was really reprehensible, the whole show. It was disgusting and gross, and I think, I don't know, just like bizarre things happened throughout the entire course of the show, and it just got worse. Like, I think somebody took out a birthday cake, and a lady to put out the candle with farting on it. I don't know, it was just bad all the way through, but we stuck it out. We were a good audience, because that's what Mark was. He was not just a great performer, he was a great audience, and we just applauded, and we were woo, and had a great time. And at the end, you know, we both looked at each other and were like, oh my God. And I was like, man, that is the most violating, I feel violated by this show. I said, I feel like it's the most, you know, hideous thing I've ever witnessed in my life, and I'll never get that time back. And he goes, I know, I felt the same way. And he goes, do you want to go again next week? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it, let's go. So, and then one other thing, you know, I was planning on doing something else, but I kind of wanted to touch on this because I'm learning about him. That's why I'm glad everybody's in this room. I'm learning about Mark. I never saw the part where he snapped. I've never seen that side of him, right? So, but it makes me feel better because he's such a nice person. He's so kind-hearted and loving and giving, and yet he still has that side where he has anger. He's got fire. You know, he's got the fire. And now I think I relate to him even more because literally on the way here, I realized that I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person, I'm gonna tell you. Did anybody else get lost on the way here and turn into the allure? Anyone by applause? Anybody do it? Okay, I did. Okay, I was, just not paying attention. I pulled into the allure, right? That's what my GPS said to do, by the way. So I get up there and I say to the woman, I go, hi, I'm here for a memorial. I figure I'm not the first person, right? I'm in all black. And she's like, you're not at the right place. And I go, oh, okay, sorry. Oh, and I look at the sign, I go, oh, allure, yeah, sorry, a GPS. I guess it's next door. And she's like, yeah, it's next door. And I was like, okay, well, then I guess I'll just loop around and head over there. There's parking there, right? She's like, they have their own parking. And I'm like, right, so I'll just go to their parking and turn around if you don't mind just opening the thing. And she's like, no, I can't open the thing. I can't open. I said, well, what do you think? I'm not gonna bum rush the allure? Seriously? Is that what you think is gonna happen? Right? She's like, just back up. And she was so dismissive. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I go to back up. And then I was just pissed though. I had like one of those like Curb Your Enthusiasm moments, right? I was like Larry David and I pulled back up, right? Because after backing up, I was pissed. I'm like, no, fuck it, no. And I go, hey, I just said I'm going to a memorial. Right. And you sloughed me off like that? I go, what's your fucking problem? Seriously. Right. Do you think this place is so special? What the fuck is this? Is the president in there? I'm just trying to go to a memorial. You don't need to be shitty, right? And then she's looking at me like, bye. And I'm like, no, you fucking bye, okay? You fucking bye. I don't want to see your shit face, okay? I'm sitting here trying to fucking get out of here. Open the fucking arm thing so I can get the fuck out. She's like, just back up, right? Then the other side opens up. I guess like a resident was there, and I'm like, and I come running around to fucking get out of there. And then some other dude fucking pops out of that fucking loser box that they fucking sit in all day. I'm like, where the fuck, dickhead box? He comes out, right? And he's like, lady, ma'am, you can't do that. And I'm like, at some point, like he was taking down my license plate, like he's gonna get me fucking arrested for this. So he's all, you don't want to mess with me? And I'm like, oh, really? And then I was like, oh, Jesus, I know I'm snapping, but I can't stop it. It's already full-fledged, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm already down that road. So then I pop open my door like a psycho, and I go, what? I get out of my car. What are you gonna do, bitch? What are you gonna do, bitch? Give me your best move, motherfucker. Come on, right? And it's like people deal with grief in their own way. Some people cry, right? Some people cry, some people isolate. I just fucking go off on people, man. That's what I do. So then I was like, what are you gonna do? And then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be late. I'm just get in the car and I take off and I go into the parking, right? And you would think the story would end there. But it doesn't. So then I get out of my car and I feel myself like trying to fucking speed walk, like I'm not exercise, those, and I get back there and I just talk to the person. The other thing that really bugged me is that he was recording me, right? And that's the thing, because he's like, no, on his stupid like chest camera, like, no, I got you, capturing my soul. And I'm like, you know what, motherfucker? I go, I come back and I go, do you think that was right? I just want to know if you think it's right. A person says they're going to a memorial, and you guys treat me like some hardened criminal. Like, do I have a gold tooth in front of here? Like, do I look like I'm gonna, raid this place? And he's like, I just have a job and I'm just, what are you gonna pay my family's bills? And I'm like, oh man, you're such a bitch. I go, such a bitch ass. What an excuse. You're just arbitrarily, following rules. That's what's wrong with the world today, right? And I go, yeah, right, it is. You just arbitrarily, that's how the Nazi party got started. That's what I told him. And then he's like looking at me like I'm crazy. I don't know why, but then he's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I knew I was in a rush, so I said, I don't really have a lot of time anyway, and I don't even have a problem with you, sir, okay? You're just doing your job. I got a problem with that fat cunt. And I hope you heard me, right? You're a fat cunt. Have a nice life. And that's how I got here. Anyway, guys, I told that story for you. I love you, Mark. Thank you guys for being here.
To the fabulous picture on the wall.
Celebration of life, and we kind of joked afterwards, like, geez, we hope, it's not us. If you do one for me, I'll do one for you, type of, unreal that this is happening right now, but so let's just treat this as a hypothetical situation. So hypothetically, I met Mark in '96 at a Doug James gig in Long Beach, I think it was, and after the show, he introduces himself to me not by saying, "Hey, I'm Mark, nice to meet you," or "Good set." No, he said, "You want to know everything you did wrong?" At the time, I was in my head, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I've been doing comedy just over 3 years. What the hell is this guy in his 30s gonna tell me that I don't already know? Because you're an expert when you're 3 years in. And it's probably about 5 or 6 years in that you realize you suck and you don't know anything. But so in the car, we drove back to LA together, and somehow he had my set like committed to memory, like a photographic memory type of thing. He went through it and told me what was hack and what had way too much fat, too much setup, just awful placement. And you know what? He was right about every single thing he said. And you know, when you look back, you like, you have a 20-minute set, you trim the fat, and now you got like 6 or 7 okay minutes at best. And so he was dead on right about that. That was the very first lesson that I learned from him. And it was good that he approached it like that, because you gotta have thick skin and comedy, not like these pussies today, but so I needed to hear that, and it was a good life lesson. And Mark took me on the road to open for him for several years, everywhere on the West Coast, man, and hundreds of hours we walked together in a car. I inadvertently got us fired from a gig in Ely, Nevada, 15 minutes in, so it was literally a showstopper. It's an amazing, one of my best comedy stories, but it's very long, and we don't have the time for that, so if you want to hear that story sometime, I have visuals and everything, just hit me up. But I think one of the biggest takeaways that I have from Mark is he had an unbelievably unique way of making irrational behavior, crazy behavior, seem normal. He was able to normalize it. Case in point, we used to play racquetball together in Los Angeles. Kicked my ass every time we played, but one time I take a game off him and he breaks his racket, smashes it against it. It was fun. He was going nuts, right? And I'm trying as hard as I can not to laugh, complete silence. He drops me off at my apartment in Hollywood, and then a week later we're going to play again, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to thank you. I wanted to thank you the other day. I really needed that. My old racket sucked. The strings were all loose. Plus, it's you know, it's good. It's good to get in the red zone. It's good to get in the red zone like that, you know." And I'm like, "Yeah, your blood pressure though." And he's like, No. It's like taking an ice plunge or whatever, jumping cold water. It's your heart going so you get way up here, and then the key is to see how quick you can get down there. If you keep everything inside all the time, it's going to tear you up. So it's good to snap like that. And I guess that makes sense, right? And so we're playing that game, and the very first game we're playing, I just take about 2 or 3 points in a row. I'm not winning the game. And boom, he goes down, he smashes his racket again. And he storms out of the room, and I'm like, all right, I'm not leaving, because we're paying per hour, so I'm gonna get my workout in, and I'm just hitting the ball around. A couple minutes later, he comes in, and he's got another new racket, and he goes, I bought a backup just in case. So we continue playing, and he takes that game off me. I don't let him win. He specifically said, "You let me win, I'm gonna kill you," basically. And so he kicked my ass. And then the next game, we were nearing 21 points, probably 17, 18 points, and it was real close, back and forth. And I took a point off him, and he went to town on that wall like it owed him money, and he shattered that racket. And then, so there's that long, slow, silent walk out to the car again. And I don't want to say anything, because I feel bad. You know, he kind of calms down, he's like breathing, he's getting his breath, and he's like, that was good. You know what? That was good. Those new rackets, they need to be broken in for a while. They're really nice. He pops the trunk, and I swear to God, he's got 4 new fucking rackets. So he was I'm just breaking brackets. But the whole point of that, I'm sorry, I went way long. You can cut this however you want. He had a way of justifying his behavior, and it made sense. It was crazy, but it made sense. He was unbelievably unique like that. And I've never met a guy like him. And man, I miss him, and it's still not real. And so I don't know. Thanks, you guys have been great. What the fuck? I hope I don't have to do this for any of you guys again.
That was great to Leah. He's running all over the place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our last speaker, and then we have Mark Wilde coming to the stage. Not really.
Rick would have been here in person, but he was on a cruise ship. He shot that from a cruise ship, so
not Mark.
Friend.
Not Mark, but Rick.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right, and then we're gonna wrap it up. And if you want a hat, just let me know and come up, and we'll talk about the hat situation. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
the most important person in Mark's life,
Gina Bacon.
Hi there. I can't memorize things, so I wrote things down here. Mark and I one time had to do something for a commercial of some sort, and I couldn't remember my lines, so I had to tape the words on his back and stand behind him so I could remember my lines. I was very bad at that. Even with songs, we would have to sing songs, and I couldn't learn a song, and I would always have to tape it on his back. And we'd go in to do a telegram, and I'd just be reading off his back. It was July 1999, and I had just performed as Marilyn Monroe at a charity event, and was told that a Frank Sinatra impersonator was coming. So I had a gig to get to, but I waited in my car for about 5 minutes, and suddenly a Honda CRX came wailing around the corner, came to a screeching halt. The door flies open, a dog jumps out and starts relieving himself in the bushes. Then a bald man emerges from the car, opens his trunk, pulls his pants down, and starts changing into a tuxedo. This was the first time I met Mark Wilde. 6 months later, on January 14th of the millennium, we went on our first date. Mark was everything I was looking for in a partner. He was honest, funny, courageous, adventurous, daring, edgy, open to try new things. He didn't care what people thought of him. He was always planning fun activities and places to go. He didn't drink much, he didn't smoke, and he didn't do drugs. He's my perfect guy. I felt so safe when I was with him, and we just fell madly crazy in love with each other. He'd often say, "Gina, one day I'm gonna hit it big. I'm gonna be rich." He used to say that a lot to me, actually. For the next 12 years, we performed together at many events. He'd be Austin Powers and I'd be a fembot, or he'd be Tom Petty and I was Stevie Nicks, or Frank Sinatra, Nancy Sinatra, Elvis and Marilyn, Garth Brooks and Dolly. Whatever the client wanted us to do, we would put the act together. Clients loved it when he dressed up like Cher and I did Sunny, and we sing their signature song, "I Got You, Babe." When he would do Cher, when he'd get the high notes, he would kind of pull his little jumpsuit up so he could sing Cher's high note. It was pretty funny. He used to say Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks had a home they named Pickfair. And since my last name was Bacon and his last name was Wilde, he dubbed us Hog Wild. Mark and I used to work out at the gym when we were first going out. Going to the gym with Mark, it was always at midnight. Anything really we did was always late at night for some reason. He would always wear his shorty short Richard Simmons dolphin shorts. And he insisted on stretching before he got on the elliptical machine. And the elliptical, that's the one you do the stairs, so he had those little teeny shorts. I tried to buy him other shorts and he wouldn't wear them. He insisted on wearing them. My daughter Raylene just had her 9th birthday when I first started dating Mark. And she was a sweet, innocent little girl, and I was concerned how she would adapt to Mark in our lives. To my surprise, they hit it off and they actually had the same sense of humor.
She laughed at everything he said, and he would do voices for her like Homer Simpson, and she would just go into hysterics. Being with Mark, Raylene and I were constantly at the Mark show. We had front row seats to the best comedy show 24/7, whether we wanted it or not. She went on a Girl Scout overnight trip one time, and we picked her up at the bus, and she got in the car and she proudly exclaimed, "I was a hit on the bus." We went, "What? You were a hit? What do you mean?" She said, "I told all of Mark's jokes." I just looked at Mark. I was, oh no. She was a hit though. Mark would help her with her homework. He would read the books that she was reading, like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, so they could discuss the books. Their favorite show to watch was Invader Zim. He would accept comedy jobs so we could all travel together and he could bring Raylene. We went bowling, skiing, horseback riding, amusement parks, and visited different states. He even took us to Mexico. One day he said to me, "You know, your daughter's kind of simpy, and she's gonna get beat up at school." I said, "She's in Loma Linda, California. There's no beating up at school here." And he said, "No, I gotta teach your daughter how to fight." Okay, so he taught her how to fight. He taught her how to fight and to speak up for herself, and I think he did an excellent job. I do, because she's a tough, confident individual now. In 2012, I retired from performing, and we moved to Las Vegas. We went to countless shows, concerts, and dinners, and we met many, many friends. Mark loved his friends and family and kept in contact with every one of them. He had so many friends and family from his childhood, which are here, friends from the comedy circuit, which are here, friends from California, which are here, and now friends from Vegas. He had a rotation of friends he would call while he was driving and on the road, and most of you in the room here probably got a call from him at least once a month or more. He made sure to make time for his friends with coffee, lunch, dinner, shows, etc., and there isn't anything he wouldn't have done for his friends. He was non-judgmental, easy to talk with, was great with advice. How many times did he give you guys advice? He was knowledgeable on many topics, and he was up on the current events. Let me get my paper here. He was the smartest guy now. He really was. He was the smartest guy. I didn't agree with him a lot sometimes, and I would get mad when he was right. He was always right. And we would even do bets. He was like, "Bet you." I go, "I bet you $1. I bet you $1. And I for sure thought I was right about something. He always had the answer. I was wrong. He had a lot of charisma, and as he would say, he had charisma shooting out his ass. He used to always say, if you were lucky, he would say, "She's got a horseshoe up her ass." He used to always say things like that. Mark may not have achieved the level of success he aspired to or amassed great wealth, but as I look around the room here and hear all the heartwarming stories about him and his life, I don't think he ever realized that he already made it big. He was rich with love and admiration of his friends and family who held him in high regard and cherished him deeply. And thank you so much, everyone. I love him.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Wilde. And then it's over.
I'm happy he's here. Why is that? Mark Wilde.
Give it up for Al. I'm crazy, everybody. I'm loony. What kind of intro is that? Alright. I'm nuts, dude. One song, kill a kitten with his mouth. You're crazy, this guy. Thank you. Did you bring it on flat for everybody? Around the room, let's cocoon these fuckers. Look at my ass. Look at my fucking ass. Who's my daddy? Who's my daddy? I am. I'm my daddy. I grew up in a small town. I was born in a small town. Let's try that again. Small town. I grew up in a small town. Run and die in a small town. That's probably where they'll knows. Lord, he knows too. She's a big girl, crazy about ruffles, loves wrinkles, and keepers too. Now she's a cheese. She's balling. Just get radio here. Do some more jokes about tractors in dirt. About this tractor, it don't work, but it's just in my yard, and it's so shiny. And I look at it all day long, and it just sitting out there. And then sometimes it rains, and then it gets really shiny. I gotta listen to you people out here. Play it some more, Wicked City, man. I close my eyes, only for a moment, and I hit a tree. I recently told my car smashed my Yugo into a fern. The one City Yugo is a turbo Yugo, is a Yugo Z. With a T-top and wood paneling. With a pussy wagon, huh? Sitting out on the street cruising for chicks, right? Hey, babe! You know, it's the same noise you hear from King Bozo the Clown and the balls. Oh, that's a Bozo no-no, kid. This is off the new album, High on Lionel Richie, and I suck like Neil Diamond. Stuck on you. That's fucking wrong. Stuck on you. I got the Vaseline slightly confused with the crazy blue. Now you're in my way. Needed a lube. It was a little too dark and you handed me the wrong tube. Now you're in my way. Permanently late. Your name. Since Rock Hudson dicked me, Rock was up my back door. I'm a big clothing dick joke. Good night, everybody.
You know it's going to be a rough night when you look up in the lights and dead relatives are going.
Gina and Pammy, and thank you guys so much. It was awesome.
And thank you to the Ahern, everyone. Give a big hand. Take care of your bartenders. Thank you to Lorenzo Ryan, our tech back there who was waiting patiently to hit all these videos. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate all you. And thank you for being here.
Lorenzo Clark and Ryan Ahern, thank you so. And if you want to do a show here, hit them up or something. And if you want a hat, let me know. Who would like a hat? Come on up.
Come on up, you guys. Thanks so much.
Come on, Tim.